Hello, welcome back to Footy Corner TV. This is the Worst with the North Bank podcast. We've got Dom back on the show. How are we, sir?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Yeah, yourself? Hopefully, feeling a bit better.
I'm kind of struggling along. I still got a little bit of a headache and a little bit of a blocked ear, but it's not half as bad as it was 2 nights ago. So
And you thought
yeah.
having me on would help that?
I mean, I just listened to your countdown story, and that really didn't help my head. So to be honest with you, so
In fairness, that wasn't my countdown. I was regaling a story of someone's show I was on, and they did a countdown and forgot the number 9.
I mean, that kind of makes it worse that it's not your countdown, and you didn't tell them that it didn't relate to the 10-second countdown.
In my
You only
defence,
told them that it was missing a number 9 and not actually counting 10 seconds in a 10-to-1 countdown.
well, it might have done. I didn't count that bit.
Yeah. Your mission, should you choose to accept it after the stream, is to find it and tell me if it relates to a 10-second countdown.
I'm just messaging him now. I'll ask him.
I want to know. I want to know live on stream if that's the case. Because if it's not, I want it removed immediately. Not that I have any choice in the matter whatsoever. But yes,
It was a clever idea. In fairness,
say again.
it was a clever idea. In fairness,
Well, it is if it relates to 10 seconds, yes.
if it does, yes.
Yeah, if it doesn't, it's not a clever idea at all. It's it's a very not so good idea at all. Hoodlin, how are we, sir?
I am good, thank you. Yeah, just enjoying after last night. Watching some people still going into meltdown, but that's for another time.
Yeah, well, we might get into that as well because obviously
can't please everyone, can you?
Yeah, apparently, if we win, we're in the crap, and if we lose, we're in the crap. If we draw, we're in the crap. There's just no winning with some people. To be fair,
Even when we do win.
even when we do win, there is no winning. Khalid, welcome in, sir, and anybody else that's in the stream, please make sure you're hitting the like and the subscribe and sharing the live. That would be much appreciated. Any comments you got, stick them in the chat, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. And he says, "Big up the panel, indeed, big up you guys." Where do you want to start? Line up Pompey.
Pompey.
The lineup for Pompey. Was there any surprises there for you? I mean, do you want me to read the lineup out because it does feel like a long time ago now.
I was going to say I've been asleep since then.
Yeah. I mean, I've had sleepless. I've had sleepless nights since then.
Yeah. I was going to say. Most.
So yeah, we have obviously had Kepa in goal, White, Norgard, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Eze, Marino, Nwaneri, Madueke, Jesus, Martinelli. Anything that stands out to you, apart from the ridiculous amount of rotation, which we were all begging for, right? That's what we got a squad for, right?
Yeah, you got 10 changes.
10 changes, yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't win 10-0, so we've got to be furious, right?
The best thing about that game is not only did we score a set piece, we scored an own goal from a set piece.
Yeah, they both made an appearance in that game, didn't they? Owen goal and set piece FC.
Yeah,
he was on a worrying goal drought. Owen goal.
Yeah.
Say again.
Owen goal. He was on a worrying goal drought before that game, but nice to see him back amongst the goals.
I know, isn't it?
I just love that nobody mentioned in the demolishment of Exeter that City did when they put out the first team. They put out the first team against Exeter, right? Which I'm not joking, right? If Arteta did that, there would have been riots. They'd be like, this guy doesn't know how to rotate. This guy doesn't know this. And I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that he's not open to criticism this season, because I think there are moments where he's where it's justified to criticize him. I don't think that's a problem by any stretch of the imagination. But for crying out loud, that side was just ridiculous.
I was stunned when I saw that Manchester City side, and I think, look, every season.
He complained about fixture pile-up.
Yeah, I know. And the number of minutes Haaland is playing this season, is unbelievable. But I think, as you say, there are legitimate criticisms you can make of every single manager, and Arteta not immune to that. I wasn't expecting 10 change. I was expecting 7, 8. I thought we'd see Saliba and Gabriel, although I did wonder if Norgard might play and he might go for the 2 10s. But I expected the double pivot in 6. Of Norgard, Marino. I mean, Marino, I think more of the 8, but you know what I mean. That's what I was kind of expecting with Gabriel and Saliba probably playing because of the injuries situation. But I mean, I like the lineup. It got minutes for lots of players that needed minutes. Wanyeri, Eza, Jesus getting his first start, I think was really important for him on his recovery back from injury. So I mean, I liked the lineup. I was really pleased with it. We saw, substitutions relatively early to get players off. I think there was a lot to like about it. Of course, going behind was a bit of a shock, but I think that can happen in an FA Cup game away from home when you've got the crowds up. The Portsmouth, in this case, have nothing to lose, and you've made that many changes. But I was really pleased with the mentality of them not worrying at all. I mean, you'd expect not to worry. You're playing Portsmouth. You'd expect to win that game, but I think that was really important.
Yeah, I mean, equally there are giant killings, aren't there? That we
been plenty last weekend.
Yeah, there's plenty out there, but we just needed to be not part of the statistics, and not do a.
We didn't want another Wrexham. Yeah. Wrexham both this week, last weekend, and of course, was it 90? What year was it, Wrexham? I can't remember now. I wasn't very old.
Was it 91?
I wanted to say 91, and then I hedged. I talked myself out of 91, but I think it might have been.
Yeah, I think it was.
I mean, I was not very old, but
yeah,
I was alive, sadly, but I'm not. But I certainly wasn't very old.
Big up, SJ. How are we? Beto scores that goal last night. Which goal's that, SJ? Are you talking about the goal Gyökeres scored? Confused. You need to explain that one, SJ. But yeah, I mean, it turns out as well that the fact Saliba was missing and Trossard were missing was probably a bit of protection and a bit of something or something and nothing, or just generally protected. So obviously there's a bit more explanation behind that, as we found out.
You can never tell with Mikel Arteta when he did press conference updates on injuries, can you? Whether it's
I'm glad about that. Not about you. I
think it's a good thing. I've no problem.
I think it's brilliant. I actually think it's brilliant, and it winds people up in our own fan base, and it just baffles me.
I can understand American fans getting agitated about it because in American sports, generally speaking, they're very transparent about injuries, very transparent. You have to put them on lists and explain what the problem is. So I can understand how culturally that would irritate an American fan base.
I agree with you, but for another reason. I agree with you for another reason, because the American fans are basically up at like ridiculous o'clock in the morning watching those games, and if they see ridiculous lineups and ridiculous injuries, they can choose whether to watch the game or just record it, go to bed, and you know, catch it back up later. So I agree with it from that point of view.
But from a UK fan base, you're exactly right. Why would you give any of your opponents an advantage by saying, I mean, I don't think anyone was fooled by Mikel Arteta saying, well, Saliba and Trossard are doubts for, last night's game, but tomorrow's game when he said it. I don't think that anyone was surprised that they were fit and available. But
Did you see Twitter?
Yes, of course I did. I don't. let me clarify my comment. I don't think anybody should have been surprised, and Liam Rossinho certainly would have planned. Yeah,
you should have gone with that.
Liam Rossinho, I don't think would have been surprised to see Saliba and Trossard, but sorry, I'm moving on from Portsmouth. We should get back to it. Hoodlin, I didn't know what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a good lineup. Norgard was solid again as usual. So that was good. It was actually good to see Waneri get a run out as well. Kind of very rare at the minute, but yeah, I think going down was it 3 minutes into the game that we went 1-0 down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very long, was it?
My
no
phone
panic.
was ringing off the hook with, and then it went very quiet. I thought it was broken.
Yeah, because I remember seeing a couple of videos where the videos was only like 30 seconds. Oh, Arsenal are down 1-0 to Portsmouth. I'm like, it's only 3 minutes though. Like, what's going on?
I mean, they scored 2 in 8 minutes, to be fair to them.
Yeah, so
just one happened to be in their goal.
Yeah, I just think we went out there, we did what we needed to do, win the game, and that was that.
Convincingly in the end as well. I mean, it was a bit of an off the cuff kind of moment. I do think it was quite lucky the way the ball rebounded.
Yeah,
I think Kepa maybe could have done a little bit better, but
I think the only one, it's not really a disappointment, but the one thing I thought he would have given Gyökeres a bit of a run to, at least try and get 1 or 2 goals within that game to boost his confidence a bit more. I was a bit surprised that he didn't actually play.
Do you think, because I thought this, I saw that as well, but do you think that rather than do that, he just basically went, right, okay, have a full recovery, and it also doesn't undermine him that he basically just put him out in a lesser game because that's the level we're going to start you from. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of that kind of mentality that it kind of led me to. But
there's also the other way of looking at it as well, is if he plays against Portsmouth and doesn't score, then what happens?
Yeah, true.
I mean, I think it. I was discussing whether he should start Gyökeres as well for that exact reason, which is get him the goal. But I was also like, Jesus needs some minutes as well. And actually, there is that, as I just said, that potential opposite effect of what you're looking for, which is if he doesn't score.
Yeah,
but it did surprise me. He didn't get any minutes in the game, did he? Because Kai Havertz came on.
No, but
it's good to see Kai in.
I actually like that, and I think that Kai needed it as well.
I agree.
And obviously, he kind of needed him to have Havertz to have some minutes if he wants to play him in the Chelsea game as well.
Yes.
So he was never going to start. He's never going to play Kai at all for any kind of minutes, and I also think by doing that, that's another hoodwink moment, because a lot of times he'll play a player for that amount of time and then they'll start the next game. So maybe they kind of looked at that and tried to, baffle with science, I guess, a little bit. But yeah. I was trying to see how many minutes that Havertz actually got.
It felt around the 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah. 20 minutes plus a bit of extra time. So, yeah. It was good to see him. It was good to see him quite fresh in the game, offer a little bit of nipping the ball about a bit.
Yeah, kind of that one sort of run across the defender, sort of, from the sort of middle of just outside the penalty area, but from the middle, sort of that right channel, I thought was quite an interesting run. One I don't see him make too often. I quite like that. That was sort of the moment, the Kai Havertz moment of the game for me, which sort of stood out instantly to my mind.
Yeah, Khalid's on the live scorer app, just like I am. So.
Yeah, 69 minutes.
I could have guessed it was 69th minute, mate, and I read it on live score like you did. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was quite productive game. It was quite it's quite nice to see people rattled for a little bit as well. For one reason or another. Obviously, we managed to score a set piece on goal. I can't remember the other goals, to be honest with you. I'm just struggling to remember the other goals.
Well, Madueke missed a penalty. I don't know what you thought of his.
Madueke had a really good game,
Yeah,
he did.
and then he did that. But not only did he do that, he managed to send the keeper completely the wrong way
and still miss.
How the hell? I can understand it if you've got a bit too cocky and you've put it the same side as the keeper's diving, and miss. But to drag it,
I know it was a slightly different type of penalty, but the Saka one in Madrid last season, where he got it was the Panenka, the chip penalty.
Yeah,
but what I mean is the cockiness of it,
Yeah, you can't miss like
if
that.
you're attempting a Panenka, I think that's different. I think it's a mass skill to do it, and it's very easy to screw that up.
Yeah. But I mean, the same sort of cockiness, you can sort of understand how you'd miss that, right? But
yeah. So I was right. I was right, Khalid. I was right, was I?
You have to score that though.
I like I said, you've done the work. You've beat the keeper with whatever bravado you bring in, and
you've also beaten who was supposed to take the penalty as well, because he took it himself. So
yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't think there was an actual recognised penalty taker on the field,
because everyone came off at the time, no?
Yeah, so Saka wasn't on, Gyökeres wasn't on, Rice wasn't on, Havertz potentially, Odegaard, another one. So I don't think there was a specific penalty taker. So
Jesus would probably be the man you'd have expected to possibly take it, but
not with the minutes he's had, with the confidence and whatever. So I
it'd have been ultimate banter, wouldn't it, if they'd given it to Kepa? Hey, you know how you thought you could save the penalties when you played for Chelsea and we took you off?
Imagine if they'd done that.
In the final, when the manager went crazy.
Can't remember
What's that?
When they were going to take him off in the cup final for the penalty shootout, and he blatantly refused.
Oh, against with Sarri.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was it.
Yeah.
That would forever be iconic.
Yeah,
mad, absolute mad. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was quite a comfortable game. But I don't know about you, to be honest with you.
Yeah, comfortable game, and we've got a favour of a draw at home, so couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, and we've got a new
the long
new heading threat from corners apparently.
He got like the world record for throw-ins or something like that, like 51 meters or 53 meters or something like that.
No, I wasn't talking about the throwing coach. We can get onto the throwing coach if you want.
Gabby Martinelli scoring.
Martinelli scoring from the corners, basically.
I was really pleased for Gabby Martinelli, by the way, because he'd had a difficult week, after Liverpool stuff, which was overly critical.
Really, I didn't notice. I listened to that commentary on TNT, and he didn't tell us once. He didn't tell us once.
No. I thought it was calm and measured, Sparks.
Yeah, completely didn't mention it once that there was he'd had a difficult week and he's come up for criticism and he's done this, that, and the other. He must have mentioned it 100 times, Sam Matterface. Oh my God.
Oh, I thought you meant Gary Neville.
No. Sam Matterface on TNT. Absolutely ridiculous. The amount of times he said it. And I think it was Karen Carney that was with him
I didn't have the commentary on, so
I wish I hadn't, to be honest with you. But Karen Carney at the end, and she said something about it at the end because he must have said to her, or somebody must have said to her, look, he's getting beef because he said it so many times. You haven't mentioned it once, so you've got to mention it.
You're going to have to mention it, yeah.
I think that's what happened. It was just absolute madness.
Well, I without meaning to channel my inner Sam Matterface, because I wasn't aware he said it that many times, because I had to say I didn't have the commentary on because I was at my father-in-law's, but he had that difficult week, and I think it was really important for him. But also, again, the mutterings were going about Gabby Martinelli not being good enough and all that, and maybe he's not. But also, he is scoring a lot of goals outside of the Premier League this season, and I think he does offer that different threat down that left flank. So I think he is a really important squad player still at this moment in time. Yes, maybe you do something different in the summer. He goes, someone else comes in, but I was delighted for him to get that hat trick, and he could have had 5.
Yeah, he could quite easily add 5, actually, couldn't he? But yeah, I mean, it was nice to see him scoring different goals as well, and maybe he should have scored the. I think the other one was actually easier where he hit the post.
Yeah, I mean, so I think it was Charles Watts that made the point that actually you forgot how good Gary Martinelli was in the air, because his first season at Arsenal he was scoring those types of goals consistently.
Yeah,
hasn't done it since, and you know I'd actually forgotten about that. You know, I mean, it was a while ago, understandably so, but.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we got through that comfortably. No additional injuries in it, which was quite nice to see, and quite positive that we get a positive result, and yeah, don't have any specific more injuries. And then obviously going into the Chelsea game, where people were saying, I don't know how much you watched of the media before or Twitter beforehand.
I do, but I try not to. But unfortunately, I do.
Yeah, well, Hand of Arsenal was Hand of Arsenal as it is now. We used to be Hand of Arsenal. Was getting grief before the game from AFC Camden, I think it was.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, and he's been getting called out by him quite a lot. Basically saying he's recycling. He's just recycling other people's
news or something like that. Yeah.
And you're just like, well, okay, that's fine, but you know, tell us something new, sort of thing. And there was a bit of beef there, basically going, well, Trossard and Saliba aren't going to be ready. He was like saying that they just got knocks. They were being protected. There was nothing this, that, and the other. And then the AFC Camden account kind of called him out a bit and went, go on, then we're going to find out now, and proceeded to shut up quite quickly, because it's like, yeah, I mean, he's kind of been proved to be right. But I just
the fact that in some ways, don't all journalists recycle? You know, as soon as one journalist gets it out, quite a lot are working on the same stories. They come out fairly quickly afterwards. Partly because they got their own information, partly because they're saying that it's out there now and they can then report it for their own organisation.
Yeah, I mean, and it also, I mean, it depends where you're given the credit, I suppose. Because obviously, if you're getting it from, say, Fabrizio or whatever, you've got to be given the credit or whatever. But personally, I don't know about you, but if I get a story from like Sky or Paramount or whatever, I don't tag them. If I see a smaller account, even if it's a 100K account or whatever, I'll tag them, because it's like, well, you know, yes, it's fair game because you put it out there, but I saw it there first. I did get one. I tagged one guy, and somebody messaged me privately saying that came from so and so first. I was like, okay, well, I didn't see it from there, did I?
So from this guy,
that's where I got it from. So I tagged that account. Is that right? So it's like policing who I tag.
I can't believe that you didn't have an entire team of fact checkers, Sparks, to double check.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit of a one-man band, to be honest. So I can't afford to pay the team ridiculous amounts of money just to research my research.
Yeah.
You're there with the pedal at your foot, the guitar in your hand, the mouth organ attached to it, and the drum and bass on the back.
Dennis Waterman. I wrote the scripts, sing the theme tune, made the music, star in it.
Don't mock writing scripts. I wrote a speech today, and then suddenly forgot that I was supposed to be writing my own speech, and I'd forgotten that bit. So I literally wrote it in a meeting just beforehand.
I'm not going to ask what the speech was about, but
it's about how awesome I was. It wasn't difficult.
Yeah. It's about muscle injuries.
Yeah, talking too much.
Yeah, too many muscle injuries and such like. But yeah, as I said, I think that was pretty good. But obviously, we got Wigan in the next round. What's Wigan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Wigan
at home. I don't know what the date of that is, but
Valentine's Day.
14th.
Oh, is it February the 14th?
Correct, at 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, 3 o'clock until somebody gets a TV on it, anyway.
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah. So it's there at the minute, but yeah. Obviously, line up for Chelsea. Then we just go on to that because that's got the Chelsea game is kind of covered, really. Sorry, the Pompey game kind of covered, but the lineup for that, was that what you expected, or was any changes that you wanted to see?
It's kind of expecting that, really.
Yeah,
I got 10 out of 11 in my predicted lineup. So Jurrien Timber was the one I didn't expect. I fully understood the decision to play Jurrien Timber at left back, right? Because he's the more experienced, in better form player, capable of playing there. Miles Lewis-Skelly, I actually thought grew into the Portsmouth game, but didn't have the easiest of afternoons. And you could sort of see that Chelsea's threat primarily comes down the right, despite the fact Garnacho got the goals. But that was the one I wondered whether he would do that, because it was a big risk to go Timber and Ben White, given that Timber's played a lot of minutes and Ben White's just come back from an injury, and I wondered whether he's going to play both of those in that game. But I think it probably was the right decision when you look back on the game. But that was kind of my thought process behind: is that too risky, and therefore does he go Miles Lewis-Skelly and show a bit of faith in Miles Lewis-Skelly? But he spoke beforehand about you've got to make the right decisions for the right games, and I think Jurrien Timber probably was when you look at it, just in the context of that game.
Yeah, I agree as well, because sorry, go on.
But SFO coming down the right, then because there were some points he gave Timber a run for his money as well. So
I mean, I've seen all the compilations and stuff like that where Estevao did all this and he's done 6 dribbles and he's done this, that, and the other. I mean, he didn't get inside once. He didn't get past him once. I mean, Timber was on his arse a couple of times and he just got up and he chased him down and stopped him going in field. And all right, yeah, when he got the ball like on the edge of the box, he kind of did a couple of shuffle shots, as it were, but there was nothing really that threatening from him.
He was well marshalled, but I know what you mean, though, Hoodlin, that he did. Timber was having to be on his game, and a couple of times he did a little bit of help over there. But you expect that when you've got a player of Esteval's ability to go 1-on-1, that you're going to cause problems for someone, but. Yeah,
but I also think as well that White struggles defensively as well. So I think that for attacking threat, I think White was obviously the right option. But having White and having MLS, they're both struggling defensively, I think that was a big risk. So I predicted that the Timber White pairing would happen. So I think that, again, I think you're right. I think it was a right call. I think it will probably happen again at the weekend.
I could see it happen on the weekend.
Yeah, just. I mean, maybe. I mean, they've got a couple of flyers in the Forest side, but
I think it will depend on Ben White's fitness at the weekend. Ben White played Portsmouth as well, didn't he? So is that 2 90s for him in a row?
Yeah, but I mean,
well, I think I'm going back here and looking what happened with Ben White's last injury. He played 4 games in 10 days, having not done it for a while. I think.
I agree with that, but they weren't intense games like they were then.
Yeah. No, that is true. But I think
these were more controlled.
What my point being that I think Mikel Arteta will make a decision there based on the fitness of it. I think if he's got no fitness concern, I think you're right. You could see that, but I think if there is a fitness concern, you can see Miles Lewis-Skelly starting against.
I think he probably play him and rest him for the Champions League game, the away game.
White came off with 20 minutes to go as well, so in the Portsmouth game, so he has had a bit of rest as well. But what you're saying? Yeah, I mean, I think we should go well, not full rotation, but I think we should rotate in the intergame anyway.
Yeah, so I think he will go with the same back 4 on the weekend as he did last night.
Yeah, I mean, the perspective is that Hincapié is going to be ready for midweek anyway. So if he is ready, then obviously.
But then the question is, who is the closer of the two? Is it Calafiori or Ngapié?
Calafiori is further back because it's a muscle injury, I believe.
There you go.
But I mean, it's just information that I've been reading, and it's not. I'm not any kind of in the know or anything, but it's just.
Arsenal been very coy on the injury to Calafiori, haven't they?
Yeah.
It was originally reported after a couple of weeks ago, so quite a while after the injury, that it was going to be mid-January. We're kind of at that point now, and if Mikel Arteta was to believe, and you had to put a big caveat on that, he's not back training yet. But we'll see. But I can see a world where, I think the question is, where does Miles Lewis-Skelly get minutes if Ngapié plays against Inter and Timber plays against Forest?
I don't think he does play back against Inter. I think he'll be on the bench against Inter. I think.
He'll get on the bench, yeah.
And I think Ngapié will come back. He'll probably change him last 20 minutes because that's his MO, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think the Forest game is more important than Inter game as well, right?
And the Man United game that we
Man United game on the 25th.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, we only need 1 point, isn't it, to be fit?
Yeah, 1 point from the Champions League game. So.
And you think you're getting that in the last home game?
Well, I think we should. Well, I mean, if we're not getting 3 points against Cairo, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the medal of the century.
And you'd expect a similar side to the one that played Portsmouth in that game.
The Cairo game.
Yes, Cairo game. Yes.
I think there'd be slightly less rotation, but I'd certainly expect 8 rather than 10 players. I would suspect. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. I wasn't necessarily saying exactly the same, but agree. But you're looking at 8 to 10 changes there. I think you're probably looking at 1 to 2 changes at the weekend, and then probably another 2 or 3 for the Inter game from those sort of 2. You're probably getting some combination of Rice, one of Rice or Zubimendi getting a rest at some point. Maybe to change at fullback, maybe to change on the wing, that sort of thing.
Do you think they both get rested?
No, one of those two. One of those two
in the Inter game. I mean,
I think for the Inter game, he probably rest. Would he rest Rice or will he rest Zubimendi for that game?
I think it depends on which one's closer to which one needs a rest, which will be a sort of having a look at what the medical numbers say. But I think one of them gets a rest, but neither of them are rest against Forest.
The thing is as well that I agree with that. But thing is, if Mosquera's close to coming back as well, then Norgard doesn't need to be prepared to come in at centre back.
Yeah, Norgard can slip in, and
Norgard can go into Zubimendi's position. Yeah. Marino goes in for Rice. You can still play Ødegaard or Eze.
Yeah.
So I mean, the options are just ridiculous, aren't they? When you think it wasn't, I mean, it was a year ago that we could go every game.
No,
we can go. This is the lineup.
Yeah,
and you get one wrong because it's had an injury, or one wrong because you've got 2 players. You've got like a Timber or White in the same position. But it's just we got so many options now. It's unreal. And
it's between the 2 Champions League games. That's a good window to have a bit of rotation that give them a proper rest for the back end of the season.
Yeah, and especially the position that we've put ourselves in the Champions League, and we're not struggling to get into the top 8. We're consolidated in the top 8 anyway. The job's done essentially after the 6 games rather than 8.
Yeah.
And you saved 2 games in February.
Yeah, we've got like a 2-week break, isn't it? For the playoff, when that playoffs is happening.
What's that, sorry?
I think we get because we don't play, so we get a break while that Champions League playoff is going on.
I don't think we get a break. I think we've got
we've got the midweek fixtures.
Yeah, we've got Spurs and Chelsea. Now, I think there's something about the other cup ties. If they're in that round or something like that, they can move. But I think they only move a day.
Hoodlin's right, by the way. After the game on the 14th of February, we get over a week's break, get an 8-day break. So there's one of the breaks. So that's a nice week's break there.
But the FA Cup will go in that, surely.
Yeah, no, I've already put the FA Cup in. It's on the 14th.
Right.
And then we don't play again until the 22nd. So there's an 8-day break there. So that's where one of the Champions League games would have been had we had to qualify.
What we got in February? Five
We've
games.
only got 5 games in February, yeah.
Yeah, so it eases up a lot in February, doesn't it? And then obviously picks up again in a bit more March.
Randomly. So at the moment, I think that FA Cup game's going to move, by the way, because Thursday the 12th, we're playing Brentford, and then we play Saturday the 14th, Wigan.
Yeah, probably move that game then.
Well, that hasn't been... as I said, it's probably going to be on TV at some point anyway, so they'll probably move it a day forwards, I would have thought.
Brentford.
Or day back, rather.
Yeah.
No, the Wigan game.
Wigan game.
So it'd be on TV somewhere, wouldn't it, I suppose? Thriving Mindset says hi. Hello, sir. And yeah, please make sure you're liking the live and sharing it out as well. Much appreciated. Khalid says, go strong again and rotate against Inter. Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. We can rotate against Inter and Kyra and still finish top 2. Go strong in the Prem, build that gap. City have difficult fixtures. And I think they don't just have difficult fixtures. They have to be a bit more aware of the Champions League than we do.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Currently, Manchester City are 4th, but only 1 point ahead of Liverpool in 9th.
So who are they playing for their other games?
I will tell you. Hold on. I can just flip them here. So their Champions League games, they got Bodo Glimt away and Galatasaray home. So you'd expect them to come through that.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, they're not.
Well, if they needed Haaland against Exeter,
I can't believe he played him. I can't believe he played him, man.
I genuinely, when I saw that, so my son is a Manchester City supporter, so you can all get crosses and hiss at me now, but
yeah, you're not allowed to take him in my place. You're not allowed to take the City fan in my place. Or if you take him, he has to pay double. He has to pay it himself
out of his own pocket money. He rotated. Not rotated. I'm sorry. I read out the team to him, and he went, "You're joking?" And I said, "That's the team." And he went, "That can't be the team. We can't. No, that's not the team. We're playing. He's 10, and he's going that we're playing Exeter. There's no way we've played that." I was like, "That's the team we played."
That's the team. Yeah.
I didn't realize because I saw the score and I was just like, "What team did they play?" And I went and checked the start lineup. I'm like, "Are you joking?" Haaland, Semenyo, Doku, whoever. I was
Cherky.
like,
Semenyo, I understood.
Full strength team.
Yeah. Oh no, Cherky came off the bench, didn't he? Start with Foden.
Reinders started.
Yeah. Started with Foden, Reinders.
Yeah.
Rodri, I think, started as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe this is, exercise that there's something that we don't know about to play this full strength team.
Yeah, I mean, I understood the defense because they've obviously got some injuries back there, so therefore they had to sort of go stronger there. But I couldn't believe the attack they played. I know they made early subs, but
yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, I get they've got a strongish squad again, but I just don't get that against Exeter, to be honest. I mean, I see City fans basically criticising us for our spending. because Arteta spent £1 billion. He spent 470 million quid in a calendar year.
So we bought this person instead. I'm like, well, you're not in a position to really say anything about.
Yeah, I am not taking.
Hello, would you like to step into my greenhouse and you have some stones on your way in?
Yeah, here's a bucket of stones.
But not John Stones. He's injured.
No, absolutely not. What did you make of the Chelsea game then? Because obviously we kind of went to the start-up and we did a bit of a tangent. So,
no, we didn't, did we?
No, we never do that.
It was what I expected it to be.
You're disappointed, are you? I can tell you're disappointed.
I am disappointed. Because I think to me the goals we conceded are not goals we normally concede. and we more or less conceded the same goal twice.
Do you think if we have Raya in goal, we don't concede either of those?
The first one,
I don't think we concede either.
Yeah. So
I agree. I don't necessarily think Kepa was at fault for the first one, but I think Raya is that little bit quicker. Off, sort of, he's more agile, and therefore I think he gets across and set, which Kepa, being that little bit slower and less springy, for want of a better word, can't get recover. So I don't think Kepa was at fault for the first goal, but I think Raya, who is obviously a better goalkeeper, and that's not to criticise Kepa, to be clear, I think he gets across and saves that one. The second one, I think Kepa is at fault for. He either has to stay on his line, or if he comes for that, he can't be as weak as that. And I think Raya either gets that ball or stays. Raya is very good 99 times out of 100 at making the right decision on when to come and when not to come for cross. It's very rare you see him flap at one. Of course it happens because all players do it from time to time. So I think Raya saves both, but I'm not going to criticise Kepa for the first.
I was surprised that he started though, but yeah,
I wasn't. But equally, I think there was a decision to point around Raya.
I agree, but I mean, I think for slightly different reasons. Because I think Raya kind of takes the step back at that point when he's kind of been surrounded by 2 or 3 Chelsea players. I think Raya just takes himself out of it and then launches himself in, rather than
trying to fight them through,
trying to claw through the middle, if you like. I think he doesn't really care about the kind of the hustle and bustle. I think he just literally just lets them fight out themselves and then comes over the top of them.
Yeah, I think that's his advantage in being a smaller keeper. He could sort of, whereas I think Kepa probably felt he could get there because he's that more physical, but he was very much mistaken.
Yeah, the second one, I think Raya does the sprawl that he does. So he basically leads with one leg, the other is kind of up and bent sort of thing, and he just makes himself wide. So I don't necessarily think. I'm not sure that Garnacho gets that on target if Raya's coming at him. He puts more pressure on the ball. So I think he's just more assertive and gets to it quicker.
Other than that, I'm content with the victory. So ideally, it would have been nice to take a two goal lead back to the Emirates.
I hear that. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely hear that.
It's all right. It'll be rocky. It'll be fun. So why not?
Yeah, I do think our performance warranted at least a 2-goal margin.
However, I must say though, Sanchez made a hell of a save against that shot from Moreno. Any other day,
I've heard people criticizing Moreno for that.
You can't. He did everything right. It was just a very good save.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you.
I don't. I don't. Yeah, he's got a. I think he's got to put more power on
it. Someone's going to call you on Twitter tonight for that. I can see it.
I don't care.
Yeah. He said it with a straight face and everything.
I don't care. I'm criticizing Moreno for that.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I just think it was a decent save. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's put it in the right area for him. I just think he's put in the right area for him.
Because for me, I think he scores that, and it's game set match day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I still think it's game set and match. To be honest, I just obviously, if it was the other way round and we started at Emirates and we're taking a 1-goal lead to Stamford Bridge, I'd be more worried about it. But the fact that we're taking a goal lead to Emirates, and we're so solid at home, I really think that's kind of the tide done.
Do you not find it so read that, for all the years and all the sufferation we've had at Stamford Bridge, that they haven't beaten us there since 2001?
But we haven't won either. I mean, we've had the 5-0, haven't we? Did we do a 6-0? What was it? The 5-0 was the highest, wasn't there? Was it a 4-1?
There was a 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0 and a 5-0.
But they're the only two wins we've had there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there was
potentially. I can't remember, to be honest.
I saw it online today, but I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's a ninth successive game or something.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, they don't worry me at the Emirates, to be honest with you, and the thing that some players showed more passion after the final whistle, just baffles me, to be honest with you. They have such poor discipline; it's untrue.
Are you speaking about their number 8?
I don't know who you think that you think I might be talking about, to be honest with you.
So a loser, really.
He basically attacks everybody that used to be at Chelsea, which is half the bloody league. Let's be honest. I don't know why he's so bitter, because they can't all play for the club.
But then the weird thing about this whole thing is that while he's trying to do that, you've got players hugging each other, they're smiling, and even the commentator was a bit confused. He's like, we don't know what's going on here, because half of them are hugging each other, congratulating, and Mr. Number 8 is in the corner there trying to start war.
But I thought he grabbed him by the throat as well, didn't he? I mean, or at least he started to. Maybe he had an epiphany, and
it's over, man. Just like, no, it's finished. You've lost.
Yeah,
you move on.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I saw today as well that Rice had an issue with Albert as well. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
In the tunnel?
I didn't see that.
In the tunnel, basically, Rice was stood there saying something, and I can't remember his name now, but it's Albert anyway. But he's
Albert's Stickenberg.
Yeah. That's what.
I can't ever pronounce his name.
That's why I didn't try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it, and then I suddenly realised I didn't, and it was too late to back out.
I mean, I thought you were gonna do a mad better job than me, but I'm glad I didn't try it.
No, I failed miserably.
I
failed harder than Robert Sanchez.
but yeah, in the tunnel, he was basically going, "Oh yeah, sod off" or something. The guy knows nothing. He doesn't know what he's talking about or something. And Gabriel just basically told the coach to, just go on. We'll sort it out. It's whatever. It's a bit mad. So I was like, okay, but that was in the tunnel. I think I think it was half time.
No, I didn't see that. I mean, I think the Arsenal players were, must have been pleased to have won the game, but they're disappointed, as has been said, that didn't win it by more. But I also look at it and go, they did kind of gift us 2 goals as well, a little bit. But I felt that you take out the fact that, look, we conceded 2 soft goals, they conceded 2 soft goals, but over the balance of play, you'd look at that match and go, how did Arsenal not win it by more than 2? Or at least by 2, but equally, I said going into the game that this is, this isn't just about tonight. Tonight is one of those ones where you want to keep yourself in the tie. Ideally, of course, you want to go back to with a lead, because as you said, Sparks, we're strong at home. You'd make us favourites at home. It doesn't. I'm not quite as confident as you that it's done, but I think we're certainly in a very strong position there. And I know Chelsea will say, well, we've got Caicedo coming back, we've got Reece James coming back, Cole Palmer coming back. Yeah, that's fine, but you're also going away from home, which is a very different proposition, and you have to come and win.
I thought their fans were terrible, by the way. Yeah, I thought it was. I could only hear our fans, to be honest. I think they had a 5-minute spurt, and that was about it.
Yeah, I think they were quite lively for like 5-10 minutes after the second goal went in, and then as soon as we started back control the game, that was it.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought they were bad, to be honest. And have you seen the video of the fans in the corner before Rice took the free kick?
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, where they're all going, oh yeah, Chelsea reject,
Chelsea reject,
and he's just grinning. And
as soon as it went in, he turned around and
ball goes in and turns around again. You just see them in the back.
Yeah, instant karma, boy.
I want to do that to you. Have that in the mirror.
Yeah, don't be doing that on corners, though, man.
No, it's mad.
Especially when they're as good corners as we are.
And Sanchez clearly isn't, because he was terrible for that corner. Absolutely terrible. I don't know what he was thinking.
Jorgensen must be sitting there going, boss.
Yeah.
I think he had a shocker last night, though, man.
He did have a shocker. But the thing is,
by all accounts, though, he's been quite good this season. Chelsea fans are saying actually, while he does have clangers, he's not been bad this season for them. But I don't want to know.
He's not been bad in comparison to previous seasons. Well, he got a red card against Man United for a foot up, and they lost a game because of it. They did lose that game, didn't they?
They did.
There's also the fact they're looking at where they are as a goalkeepers. He's nowhere near the level of a top.
Absolutely not. I mean, even the improved level. But he got sent off for that. He had very recently Fulham game. He had a screw up.
He's got a screw up in him. I mean, I know that old goalkeepers have, but he has regular screw ups.
I mean, it of course it can blood it out. But I mean, Gabriel. He was that guy, wasn't he? He kind of have a mess up in every 3 games or whatever, and that comes out of him. But I'm not sure he does with the goalkeeper. Not when he's not 19, is he? I mean, the guy's 25 or something.
Exactly. What I mean by all goalkeepers have a screw up in them is, when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it tends to be quite drastic. It tends to be
last line of defense anyway, aren't they? So it's like
exactly.
You're kind of not doing anything, and unless you've got Terry and Carvalho on the blooming touchline, you're not stopping it anyway, are you?
Exactly. But what I mean by that is he tends to have more of those moments where even when he's and he is more exposed than say our goalkeeper is, but he has more of those moments in him, because he's not as competent as Raya or Alisson or Donnarumma, or even that young lad, and he is only a young lad at Manchester United. They're new Belgian keeper. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously not the finished article or anywhere near it. I 19, think, but exactly. But he's a very young goalkeeper, and I'd actually trust him over Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that purely because of experience in the league, but I get the comparison. I'll be talking about keepers where I just kept this one back because Khalid says, Kepa, I'm sorry, but you have goal benches in the final. What are you saying about this? Because I actually agree with this.
They were. Why did I see that? Because that's not the first time I heard that today. I was watching Sky Sports Fan Zone this morning, and the Peterborough owner was talking about that as well. He's like, the higher you go, obviously semi-final, final, you would then want your number one to step in there. Because for me personally, I think final. It has to be Raya.
Yeah, I think so as well.
100% it has to be Raya.
I don't think it's a question for the final at all. I think that, it has to be, as you say, David Raya. And I think that
strongest 11.
Kepa can get minutes in both the Champions League games as far as I'm concerned, and he can play Wigan. And I think, you're exactly, had we gone and won that 4-2, 3-1 last night,
he can play that game, yeah.
Absolutely. And look, I think Kepa is probably still the is probably the best number 2 goalkeeper in the Premier League right now. I think last season it was obviously Keller who's gone to
but he's a number 1 now.
But he's a number 1 now. But there is such a drop off still, despite Kepa being a Premier League starting caliber goalkeeper.
Ramsdale
too, between him and Ray. Yeah. Well, I'd argue Ramsdale is he number 1 now, but. Is he not? You could make the argument between Ramsdale and Kepa, but the point being that he's a Premier League starting caliber goalkeeper, but this is Chelsea in a semi-final in a season where silverware is imperative. I mean, it should be imperative most seasons, but it's really
important, isn't it? It is really. This is the one to potentially, because we're not going to be getting accused of being arrogant here, potentially getting the ball rolling and actually putting something in the trophy cabinet for this.
And that's why I think the League Cup is so important. I always go back to that Birmingham final, and there are other examples through history where you can do it. But I think these players, and I keep saying it, do not know how to win together. Some of them have won trophies, some haven't, but they don't know how to win together. And I just think the pressure that they're under ramps up if they don't win the League Cup. Rightly or wrongly, that's going to happen. And that's why I don't think you can risk Kepa, and you have to play Raya in this one, because I think getting to the final, and then obviously in the final itself, it has to be David Raya. It just has to be, because it is important for all of those things I've just mentioned.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I think we've said this consistently all the way through. That's I certainly consider the League Cup as a springboard. I keep seeing these kind of breakdowns and perspective things, and they're still not going to win anything, and they're still not going to do this and still not going to do that.
That's what Troy Deeney.
I mean, that panel because they did an interview with Saliba on that show, and he basically said, we've been there or thereabouts, but we need to get something in our pockets now. Obviously he's going with the but the hype of the pocket thing as well, which is quite obviously was going with a bit of that as well. But yeah, it must mean a lot to the players now that they haven't got over the line, and they need to prove it, not just to us, but they need to prove it to themselves as well, don't they?
Yeah.
To themselves, exactly that.
So obviously that if you're getting in that kind of ballpark and you're close, you need to get it over that line before things start regressing again, don't you?
I think Jurgen Klopp spoke about this, didn't he? Because he had similar sort of situations where he kept getting to finals and semi-finals with Liverpool before he finally got over the line. And he just said the difference you could see once he won that first one. I'm paraphrasing what he said here because I can't quite remember exactly, word for word what he said. But he said just the difference in them when the pressure came on was huge, because they knew what to do and they knew how to handle it. And he said it was so important to them, and I think the same will be true of this Arsenal side.
Yeah, I think it's literally going to be a pressure release. If they can do it, I think it's going to be a massive pressure release. The actual final's been pushed back a little bit because of the playoffs in the Champions League. So obviously they've got another couple of weeks to prepare for it as well. But obviously hopefully we can get to that point, and it's 22nd of March, I believe it is. And if you can kind of get to the point where that 6-point gap still exists at that point, then the belief it's going to instill from that point of view and to go in that final with that kind of confidence is going to be massive, I think.
I think so. But, it doesn't mean that we'll win the final, not. But it puts them in the best place, because let's be honest, it's probably going to be Manchester City, and Manchester City are of course a very good side who know how to win cup finals. But you'd have thought that Arsenal would be equally as confident going into that game, given how the season is going and the desire they will have to get that trophy. And as we say, if they get that trophy, I think that could really be that. I think you just used the word there, Sparks, springboard.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly hope that's the case. I mean, what do you consider from this point now?
Mm-hmm.
What do you consider to be a successful season?
I knew you were going to ask that question as soon as you started it, because I hadn't considered it. Hoodlum, have you got an answer? Well, I think.
I'm trying to think as well.
If not, I'll have a go.
Yeah, you have a go. Let me think about this.
So, I mean, my point at the start of the season was that Arsenal winning silverware, has got to be really important this season. And ideally, of course, it's one of the big two there. But I think silver. But I also said at the start of the season there were other teams that are going to be competing for silverware. And not everyone can win. So I felt that silverware in itself was probably enough to
appease.
I hate to put it so black and white. It won't appease certain people, but I don't
care about other people. I'm talking about you.
But no, I know. No, you were saying about appeasing people. I don't think it will appease certain people, but from my perspective, I think that would certainly give Mikel Arteta longer in the job, because I think what's really important when you've got a football club is you've got a manager that you and the players believe in, that can go out there and be successful. I think that is really important. And I think Arsenal have that Mikel Arteta, and I think that kind of just increases that desire for them to go out and win more. So I think probably a League Cup would be enough at the start of the season. I think that still holds, but from here on out, I think they'd be massively disappointed now if they don't win the Premier League this season. I think they will win the Premier League, and I said at the start of the season I thought we would, and that would, that for me was the goal. If we could win the Premier League, I don't mean to be flippant about it, but I don't care about the rest. But I think right now, Arsenal will be looking at least a double. I think talk of a quadruple is ridiculous, but
we take it. At
some point, Arsenal.
It's ridiculous to mention, but we take it, right?
Yeah, of course, but I'll be absolutely stunned if we win the quadruple, and I just know what the narrative will be when we do eventually go out of one competition, which I think we will. But I think the Premier League from this point on, if you asked me right now and said I had no expectations pre-season, what's your expectations now for it? It would 100% be the Premier League, because of how well we are and the position we find ourselves in right now.
Yeah, I kind of go with that as well. I think we're getting players back at the right time as well, and even when players have got the muscle injuries, we have the flexibility to deal with that. Obviously.
Can I just very quickly on the muscle injuries, because it's really starting to irritate me.
I didn't mean to irritate you.
No, not you at all. What I mean by that is, like every time we get a muscle injury, it's always he's overplaying. It's not just that. Muscle injuries happen to every single team, right? You can you look at last season. Now, I happen to believe there's a snowball effect last season where we got some injuries, which then meant us overplaying them, and then more injuries happened. But I also think there were elements last season where we didn't quite get it right. Mikel Arteta acknowledged it at the end of the season. This season, our muscle injuries have been that I haven't looked for a couple of weeks, but as of the end of December, we were bang in the middle of the pack for muscle injuries. Contact injuries have taken us to near the top of the injury list for the season, but not the top, but you've got things like Mascara landing awkwardly, Odegaard getting knocked over twice, and landing on his shoulder. Those sorts of things, I think there's very little you can do to mitigate it. And it's just really irritating me every time there's an injury, both within elements of our fan base and in the media. And our rival fans, fine, you're going to take the mick, right? My friend Luke goes, another injury. He's a Tottenham fan. I was like, you can talk,
exactly,
but, but that's what happens, right?
Yeah, we don't care about that. I don't care about the banter that goes with it. It's the professionals that are basically the ones that lead the banter, that it's just like should know better, really.
Well, it's not just even that, is it? It's even just things like you're not actually looking at what is the case. And the simple fact is that last season, obviously, there was something wrong, albeit I don't think it was quite as wrong as people were saying it was because of what I just mentioned. But, I look at it and go, the muscle injuries this season haven't been too bad. And it isn't because we're overtraining, because some of the injuries happened when we didn't even train that week because the players were so close to the edge, so therefore they didn't train deliberately because of the amount of games they were playing, and therefore it was very limited.
I don't think they train anyway. When there's 2 match day weeks, I don't think they train. They do very light training, don't they? They're just a bit of fitness stuff. Almost no load training whatsoever. It's just literally just kicking the ball about.
Yeah, but that's, as I say, as you might have noticed, that really, really irritates me because it's just bashing without any factual basis behind it. And like I say, rival fans, I don't care. Like, that's your job, no problem. Media guys and elements of our own fan base, like, what? Why? Look at it. Look at what the facts are saying to you. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No. It's a very good point, and it winds me up as well. To be honest, I just don't understand these are supposed to be professional pundits, and all they just bring everything into the banter thing. Even last night, right? They've got Hasselbank and Redknapp in the commentary studio, and they balance it up by having Smudger on the commentary team on the pitch, and you're like, Smudger really. We had this conversation, I think, a couple of weeks ago. He really hates Arsenal for some reason, and it's literally a case of this can't happen. It's almost like he's trying to speak it into existence, and it's just like, mate, just give it a rest, man. He did it in the Everton. I think it was the Everton game where he did it, and he's like, "Oh, this hasn't happened for so long, and this hasn't happened for so long, and this hasn't happened for so long." You're like, yeah, stop cursing it, man. Shut up. You know, your commentator's curse is going into, you know, you're trying to speak into his existence and stuff. Really does my nut in. You know, we pay for the subscriptions as well, you know.
Correct.
Anyway, having got that off both our chests, Hoodlum, I knew I'd call you Hoodlum at some point. It was going to happen. I warned you before we started. What was going to say? I'll let you answer Sparks' difficult question now.
Right. Because of the position we're in now in the cup, definitely the cup. And yeah, so for me, from the start, it was definitely one of the cups and one of the big between the Premier League and the Champions League. But ideally, it would have been the Prem and a League Cup for me.
So you let me get this right. So you kind of predicted or wanted a double before the season started.
Yeah. Looking at the squad that we've built through the summer, like
that's
what I was going for from the start of the season.
Is that like the maximum you expect, or is that like you know,
I wouldn't say it wouldn't be the maximum, but like as a baseline, like something acceptable, it would have been.
So you, if that doesn't or didn't happen for you at the start of the season, would you be at the point where you want the manager out, where you want to do whatever? Where does that lay?
No. I've never. This whole manager out thing for me is that's never crossed my mind. Okay. Like I'm not here for it.
So if that didn't happen and we won nothing, for example, you'd still want to stick with the Arteta project and stick with that. Okay, how long would that last? I'm not trying to trip you up. I just
no, I know. Because that would have been 6 years now.
It is. It's 6. Well, yeah. Is it 6.5?
Yeah, it'd be 6.5. So I mean, my view on that is, I think this manager is a very capable manager, and I think he's done really well for the club. But I think had he won nothing this season, unless someone did something exceptional, you know, like Liverpool won the league with 114 points, that's every game, but you know what I mean, you know, and then you go out of the League Cup semi-final because you've absolutely battered a team. And then they score a dodgy goal, and you get, you know what I mean. You just get unless something ridiculous happens. My view was it probably was at that point. Go, really, thanks very much. You really have rebuilt us to the point we're competing. You've got to go. But you know, I don't think that's going to happen. And B, you know, I certainly think this manager is capable of winning, and that's why I was, you know, very much supportive of him. But I do think had we won nothing, I think it becomes a really difficult position for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, the pressure, if we go through this season winning nothing as well, I think the pressure on him is going to be absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, there's going to be pressure from every angle, isn't it?
Well, it's not just that, though, is it? Because obviously the league, in my eyes anyway, it was supposed to be Liverpool's defence
against us.
And they've just dropped off like off the face of the planet, right? So that's one thing that's gone in your favour, right? City, with the money they've spent and the squad they've built, unless Pep leaves, when are we going to be in that position again where we're 6 points clear at this point in the thing, you know, because it's going to click at some point, isn't it? Unless Pep goes. I think Pep is a massive factor why they're only 6 points behind. I think there'd be more points behind if it wasn't for Pep.
I think you can easily stack that narrative up to make that work. You know, I think that's absolutely right. I mean, I
2 wins. You said probably another 2 wins.
Probably. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I can see how that stacks up. I mean, I thought that City would finish third this season. I thought we'd finish first. Sorry, and the reason I thought that was because I could sort of see in my mind that City weren't quite there, but you can never discount them because of Pep, and I think that's why I think you're absolutely right when you say that, you know, they're still in the title race because of him. I think though that those sort of issues do still exist with them, but you know, he's undoubtedly an awesome manager. But as you say, do I think that after another transfer window this summer, if he stays, that we're in it, that they're not ready to win the league? No, I think they're absolutely ready to win the league.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we wouldn't fight them for the league. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that if Pep stays, they basically spend another 200 million quid in the summer, which they're capable of. The squad's fully rebuilt.
Yeah,
they're ready to go. We'll never have a better opportunity to break the duck than this year.
Well, I think, yeah, that's why I was sort of agreeing with you on this. Is if he doesn't do it this year, you kind of question how when are we going to do it if he doesn't win anything? Because I don't think everything has gone in our favour this season necessarily, but which I don't think you're saying. But equally, I think it is much harder next season.
Everybody's coming back next season.
That's what I'm saying. That Liverpool will be back in the hunt. City will be better prepared.
Oh, they might need one more season because they might have to rebuild their entire defence next season as well. But you'd think their attack. The
thing is, if they buy quality in the defence anyway, it's kind of automatically fixed. And I realise that they're probably not going to be as expansive, but shoring up the defence is the main objective.
So. Yes, but what I'm saying is that might take a little bit of time to click, and that for when you're rebuilding, that may well put them off. But you know, you wouldn't have thought they're going to be far.
I actually think that that's probably, if they get the right players, the easiest to fix. You know, yeah, the easiest thing to do is buy the players that they want. I'm all for that. So, you know, sometimes you just got to throw your weight around a little bit, and that's what City do. So I think sometimes you just literally got to throw your weight around and go, yeah, we'll have him, thank you very much. And I still,
like they did with Mark Gahey in the summer. Oh no, sorry.
I still think he's coming Arsenal. You know.
I think there's a world where he could.
I still think he's coming Arsenal, and I stand by as well. If we go in and go right, okay, because there's actually an article come out today that basically said that he contacted Arsenal and said, if you give me a guarantee in the summer, and they basically turned around and said we don't do guarantees, so that's why he went. But if we for Semenyo, yeah. I mean, oh, hello. You dropped out.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's the expectations I had from the beginning of the season. So
yeah, I mean, so what do you accept though? What do you accept as a successful season now?
A trophy. I just want a trophy.
Any trophy.
I want to. Well, we have to win something.
Mm.
You know, we as you say, we have got players who've won things at different clubs.
Mm.
Now we're here. they have to win it together. We've been so close so many times, so they have to win at least one trophy, and then, like you said, use that as a springboard and we go again. But at the minute, we are in very good positions within all the fronts that we're fighting on.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to be not even guaranteed, but go on to win, because within the Premier League, yeah, we haven't got over the line, but we still have the experiences of getting there and getting there and getting there, and it's a learning curve. So now we are in a position where, okay, we've been so many points clear in previous seasons. Now it's kind of right. We need to manage that and push on and make sure we kind of like maintain that gap. So that's what I want. I just want to win. Like that's me.
That's all we all want is we want a kind of purpose to go into the football when not just having a beer up and just kind of celebrating stuff, but we all want to see wins but we.
Yeah, because I think I came across a short today where someone's like, yeah, if Arsenal win the league, London's going to shut down.
I don't think it'll shut down. It'll be quite the opposite of that. It will never close.
Arsenal fans are just going to be all over the place, especially.
It'll just never close. It'd be like a sea of red.
Someone at work put that to me. Yeah, they were like, right, we win the league. Would I work that day, or would I not work and be a part of the celebrations? I was like, But I was just like, well, we haven't won the league in 20 years. Like, yeah, I'm not going to work. I'm sorry. I need to enjoy that.
I won't be doing that either.
I need to enjoy that. I'm sorry, but I need to enjoy that.
I mean, I know Arsenal fans that have never seen us win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're a lot, aren't they? Because, obviously it's been 20, 21 years,
exactly.
22 years, whatever. So, yeah. I mean, again, that's for them, really. But, I mean, the dream is the Champions League as well, isn't it? But that is an absolute dream.
I just want to shut up a few people with that, actually.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, the thing is that these people they won a Conference League, the specific fan base, and I'll tell you something. The fan base of the past, the Abramovich fan base, would never celebrate the Conference League. They're far too above the Conference League.
I don't even think he would have accepted that. He wouldn't accept that.
They're just mad. I mean, he fired people for being in title races. So
But look, didn't Di Matteo win the Champions League and still got
Champions
sacked?
League,
and he did, yeah.
Yeah, I still got sacked. So
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So for me, I just want to win it for the team and also for the manager.
I think so. He's put up with so much stick. Look, he makes mistakes. Every manager does. I'm not going to apologise and say he's never made mistakes either. But the amount of grief, when you look at where we were and you look at now we are, the amount of grief he's got, yes, maybe a more experienced manager gets you there quicker. But equally, and I'm not having a pop at Unai Emery here, he was an experienced manager and we didn't go forwards. It doesn't always work. Ask Manchester United. Ask Chelsea.
This is
I was in the stands, man, and I swear to God, I never hated football so much in my life.
This is, and the thing is, this is the last time I think we spoke. This is the same thing I was saying as well. From where we were to where we are now, fortunately being in that space, like it's crazy where we were. You could feel the tension in an empty stadium even before the fans got there. So like people need to understand. But for me, I want to win for him because he, like you said, he has had to put up with a lot.
I mean, to be honest with you, I want to win for me. But, quite honest, and yeah, and I'm not. I'm Arsenal first. I don't really give a crap who the manager is, to be honest with you. I do think that he's a target wrongly in some cases and rightly in others. I don't get the attraction. Oh yeah, he's done this on the touchline. He's done like that. Like no other manager has never done anything on the touchline ever. Hello, Pep on the touchline at the weekend. Literally, virtually on the field, and all the broadcasters did was pan up the camera. That's all they did. Never said anything about it. They literally panned up the camera so you couldn't see it.
Yep.
Absolutely outrageous. And all these people come on, oh yeah, he's so arrogant and he's on the pitch all the time and he's this, that, and the other. And you're like, I don't understand where the arrogance comes from, to be honest, because he'd never come across as arrogant to me, to be honest. Certainly no more arrogant than other managers anyway. And
you had to have some arrogance to manage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So no more than certain managers or than certain people. It's just wild, and it just go, oh, well, just because he hasn't won anything. Such a crap narrative. It's
also not correct either.
It's just untrue. Yeah, but Khalid says, well, we're top of the league, we're top of the UCL, semi-final of the cup, but still feels like fans aren't fully enjoying it. Crisis talk every time. We're not perfect.
This is spot on, by the way.
Absolutely spot on, Khalid. And Dom obviously got a message when we get scored against, and he's got a 10-point basically message of how bad Arteta is and this, that, and the other.
Including it was his fault that Super Mendy slipped over.
I mean,
mad, you know.
The thing is though, they'll be at the parade, and I actually heard one of them, right, riled me up royally. One of them basically said, I want an apology from people. I want a thank you from people because he's kept up the standards. He didn't accept the mediocre, this, that, and the other. And you're like, you accepted everything just the way we did. We have no choice.
Yeah.
We have no freaking choice. And the reason I'm doing this now on the actual stream is because people like you are speaking for me.
That's exactly why I started as well, by the way.
And I'm not having it.
That's the one line. I'm not going to lie to you. I can withstand anything, but you see that line of I speak on behalf of all Arsenal fans? No. Because you're not speaking on behalf of me. You're not doing that.
It's like when AFTV come out with this, that, and the other, and somebody on Twitter posts this, that Arsenal fans think this. No, they don't speak for me, mate. If you want to know what I think,
ask me,
and I'll tell you.
Yeah, because I used to see this. Yeah, I speak for all Arsenal fans.
No, you don't
even know who you are. No,
I've seen loads of those. I speak for all Arsenal fans when I say this. No, you don't, mate. No, you don't. I don't care what you're going to say.
Then you're saying you speak for all Arsenal fans, and you come up with the most outrageous things that we've ever heard.
It's just nonsense. Is it absolute nonsense?
Well, most of the time, it makes it harder for the side to win rather than easier as well.
Yeah.
That's the bit that annoys me.
That's so true. So these people say, oh, this manager needs everything perfect to win. Right? Okay, well, everything's not perfect, though, is it?
Nope.
What do you mean? Well, you're arguing with me about said tactics or whatever, and so we're having an argument about something, which means we're not on the same page, which means we're not both supporting the team, are we? I go to the stadium and I support regardless. I don't really give a crap. I literally go out of that stadium. I've got no voice left. I've supported the whole game. And I was at the Liverpool game. This guy behind me literally tapped me on the shoulder. He went, fair play to you, mate. He said, you've been on it all game. And I looked at him and I said, I've got him down there looking at me like I'm an alien. Right, because I'm supporting my team, and he can't take inspiration from it. He has to think I'm a weirdo for supporting my team and shouting and doing whatever.
Why are you there?
Why are you in the stadium?
Why are you there? Because I remember somebody online said something to me, and the thing is, I wasn't even trying to have a go at them. But my question was, when last did you set foot in the Emirates? And that was the end of the discussion. Like, support the team. That's my.
But it doesn't even matter if you're in the Emirates for me.
But
it doesn't matter if you're in States or whatever. You're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, supporting from behind your TV. I don't give a shit, right? That is supporting your team. I am lucky that lucky-ish at times, but yeah, lucky that I need a bloody bank balance to pay for my season ticket. But I'm lucky I get to go to the stadium. Not everybody can, and that's kind of why, at certain points I try and help people out with tickets and stuff when I'm not going to every game. But I don't care whether you're going to the stadium to support or whether you're sitting at home, just posting on the internet or doing watch-alongs or whatever. But don't sit there sniping about absolutely everything.
I don't mind people having a different view, right? And I don't mind people criticising. I don't even mind. I do, actually. It annoys me when they complain about absolutely everything, because nothing is ever perfect. Nothing is ever completely broken. It's the bit that really annoys me, though, and it's the bit you said earlier, where it's just like, wow, you got me to thank for this. I haven't got you to thank for it at all. You've had absolutely no impact whatsoever on it.
Yeah.
And if anything, you've made us a laughing stock. That's the bit that irritates me more. Okay, you might not like the manager, you might not, but actually, fine. You're not seeing it straight. You've decided that. I don't agree with you, but your view's your view. Like, you're entitled to your view, whether I agree with it or not. But don't tell me that you are responsible for it because you kept standards up. Do you really think Mikel Arteta's going, do you know what? That guy, RZ39640 and Guna, he said, I mean, like,
can you imagine?
What has happened is that, like it or not, mistakes have been made. Of course they have. Like it or not, the board, the directors of football we have had, the manager, the coaching
don't start this because we could be going. But fucking midnight.
But they etc. But they have all come together, and they have done it with the support of the majority of the fans for getting behind the side, and all of those things come together. But one person going, yeah, but they're all crap, aren't they? They're all wrong. But it was me on my own. No one person is responsible for it. But certainly, those guys that are there out on the pitch and coaching are the main guys responsible for it.
What gets me though is they're literally going, oh, every decision the manager's made is wrong. We've still won the game. You've come up with a completely hypothetical situation that, well, you can't prove would have worked because nobody did it.
Then why are they not?
And you're still trying to claim the credit, but you're the reason I get shit online. I get shit online because you think you're right and I'm wrong, and you basically have to put all this crap through everywhere that, oh, this is wrong. He can't manage big egos. He can't do this. He can't do that.
How did they know that?
Yeah, this is another one that's where 6 points are clear despite Arteta. I've heard that one as well.
Yeah. By the way, it's quite obvious to me that Declan Rice doesn't have a big ego.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And Gabriel doesn't have an ego either. Even though he basically wanted to sway for a move to Saudi, and 3 seasons ago now, basically missed the first 3 games, and Arteta basically said, okay, get your head in the game, or we'll sell you. Whatever. It doesn't matter which one it is.
It all stems to the Aubameyang thing. But Aubameyang was the epitome at that point of people not buying into the collective culture, and that actually we're in this together. It's not, no one person is bigger. Rob Holding was, one of the, was towards the back end of that. But he is as important as Aubameyang is in Mikel Arteta's world. and that is that collective spirit. That's what that was about. That wasn't about not managing egos. Aubameyang, if he'd gone, yeah, no problem. We all do this together. He stays, no problem. But he didn't. He worked against that. And if you're going to win in anything, if you're going to be successful in anything, you need everyone going in the same direction. And he was going against it. It wasn't an ego thing. He was simply going against it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I just find it baffling that. I mean, the thing is that so many teams now are following the same blueprint,
or trying
to, and failing so badly at it, and they can't see it. It's just like, well, Man United have tried three times to do it.
Even the relatively successful ones can't maintain it. So look at Newcastle and Villa. Up, down, up, down. Generally speaking, our progress has been generally up.
Yeah, I mean, I do have sympathy with that because obviously their model and their profitability is not the same as ours.
Same, I agree.
So I think that if they tried to follow the same structure, which I think they have in some instances, I do think that obviously Villa are bringing in more money now. Obviously we'll see that when the figures come out in June. But people are saying about that. Why are you referring to the 96 wage ratio? Well, they're the only accounts we can go off because they're the only ones you submitted. So until you submit more accounts that basically say that you're on a 70% ratio, an 80% ratio, whatever, people are still going to use those figures because that's all they have.
And by the way, I wasn't having a go at Newcastle Villa.
No, I know you weren't.
The point being that it shows how hard it is. Even the successful can't maintain it. You know,
but
and you're right. We have an advantage over them. You are absolutely right.
I think the only reason that we kind of went in and we've sustained it is because of the fan base, because the stadium's there, because the infrastructure's there, and because we're mad and we buy all the bloody merch. That's what it's about. I mean, I'm not saying that people in Newcastle don't buy merch, and I'm not saying that Villa fans don't buy merch. Of course,
ours is more expensive because London is.
Well, I'm not sure that's the case because they've got Adidas now as well. So,
but tickets and what have you are more expensive, which.
I mean,
more for food and drink and stuff in the stadium.
I just think it's more footfall as well. Obviously, you can't have you just haven't got a 60,000 seater. I don't actually know how much St James's Park holds, so it's probably not far off that.
It's not far off. It must be 50,000.
Yeah, maybe 55-ish.
Yeah, 55. Yeah.
But obviously they've got a captive audience, whereas
I didn't realise we built a rule around Newcastle. I thought they were allowed to leave.
Yeah, I think I think that should be the case. But anyway, wrap it in there. But yeah, I mean, it's good for them to have Sunderland, to be fair, isn't it? So they don't have to travel for at least one game because that must be a killer actually. Doing all that travel every season, but that's probably another reason, to be honest with you, because I actually do so much more distance than anybody else.
It's what made that Exeter defeat even harder, wasn't it? It looks at the moment they can have Borough next season.
What coming up?
Yeah.
So I haven't even looked where the championship.
Borough is second behind Coventry.
I'm going to say Coventry are up there, aren't they?
Coventry are first, Borough are second.
Be nice to have Coventry back, to be honest. A proper sky blue.
My first game in the Emirates was against Coventry. Steve Guizovich was in goal. I was in the North Bank, row 6.
Yeah, I mean it was in ruins, wasn't it? Not so long ago. So it's great.
Steve Guizovich.
As in the whole of Coventry, the football team.
Yeah, they were locked out of the stadium, weren't they, for a little while?
Yeah, I think the stadium was up for sale, though.
Yeah, it was up for sale, and it was. They were very close to going out completely. So, yeah, fair play to them.
Frank Lampard's a manager as well, though, isn't he?
He is that. He is now. Yeah,
he's done a good job, to be fair to him.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to do? Full predictions for the weekend's scores, or do you just want to?
Yeah, why not?
No, okay, well, do the full ones then.
I didn't even realize that game was on Sky on Saturday morning. I thought normally it's TNT Sports at that time of the morning.
What, the 12:30 game? I don't think so. I think the late game's always TNT. And
They used to have that 12:30 slot at one point.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Maybe they've lost it. But yeah. But there you go. Man United, Man City. Do we actually think that Man United are going to get anything?
Yeah, I'm good for the odds, man.
You're going what?
I think it'll be a 1-0 United or 2-0 United. 2-1. I'll go for United victory.
Right. I've found. You know the one that said the Wolves win. It was Khalid that called it.
There we go. Well done, Khalid.
It wasn't you at all. I thought it was. I was crediting you with that.
Yeah, I was saying. I think I said I didn't remember saying it, but it sounds like the wacky thing I might have said.
No, I actually checked the video and it was Khalid. So yeah, but yes, well done, Khalid. You should put money on when you predict things like that. As I learnt that I shouldn't predict things if I'm not going to follow them up. So it was
I'd be bankrupt.
The Bournemouth Chelsea 3-3. Remember that?
Aye, you called it.
I did call it, and then didn't back it. Yeah. So what we going? Hoodlin?
2-1 my United. That's it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll go for United victory.
Old
Trafford, new manager bounce. Yeah, why not?
It's a difficult one. You've also got the fact as well that City are unpredictable because that defence, isn't it? You know, attacking wise, I think City have got goals in them, and United not great defensively. I actually think City are going to win this one 2-1, but United are going to give them a real scare. But I'm not shocked if your result is right.
I think 3-1 City. I don't have too much optimism, and
just don't know what United's going to turn up.
I mean, I'm all for it, absolutely. You know, and we play them in a couple of weeks as well. But yeah. So yeah, City 2-1. Khalid's going. So yeah, Hoodlin's gone. United win. Myself and Dom and Khalid have gone City. Chelsea Brentford.
Brentford is they're on a nice run of form at the minute.
I think Chelsea will win this one 2-1. Sorry, I bruised or broke my ribs last week, and just having that little cough in hurt like hell.
I sneeze and my ear.
Oh, don't! I sneezed earlier.
Man.
I sneezed earlier, and genuinely, I like 5 people came running in the office thinking I was like, about to die.
Chelsea Brentford.
Keith Andrews done a real good job there, though.
He has, because everybody thought he was getting relegated with a 3.
I didn't.
3. Oh, did you?
No,
I didn't. You said they're going to stay up.
Yeah, I said to stay up.
I thought they was going down, to be honest, because they lost 3 top quality players, and he was a set piece coach, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. I didn't think he'd survive, but I thought Brentford would going. I'll tell you why I thought they were going to survive. I thought Keith Andrews would struggle when they bring in Sean Dyche.
Okay.
Similar, but I thought Brentford would stay up. I just felt there was something about Brentford that would keep them there, and I just felt there were worse teams.
Yeah, fair enough.
Going for a draw.
It turns out there are worse teams. Absolutely.
Spurs.
Spurs, Burnley, Wolves, West Ham. Where are they in a minute? They're up to
Chelsea, Brentford. So I'm going for a draw.
Score
2-2.
Desmond. Yeah, Khalid's gone with the Desmond as well. I'm going with the Desmond as well.
Yeah, I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
What are you going, Dom?
I went 2-1 Chelsea.
Okay.
I think Rosino will get his first league game. It's at home. I just think he'd do it.
Okay. Leeds United, Fulham.
I'll go for my first draw. I think this will be 1-1. Leeds are on a good run at the moment, but I think Fulham are capable of getting something.
But Fulham are going to be back up to
Fulham
a bit of
better
strength,
really.
aren't they? Because they got their players returning from AFCON.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fulham up to 9th, by the way. Their last 6, I didn't realise, they picked up 14 points from the last 18 available.
Mate, it'd be so funny if Fulham finished ahead of Chelsea.
Right now they're level.
That'd make my year, I think. That'd be so funny.
Not quite as much as a Premier League title, but
no, but obviously I'm talking as a second-rate kind of.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I agree with Khalid again. I'm going with the 2-1.
Yeah, I'll go for Fulham.
Yeah, you have to pick a score.
I'll go for a 2-0 Fulham.
2-0.
Yeah.
And you gone for was it a 1-1 draw?
I think I went for a 1-1, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Liverpool play Burnley.
Yeah. Probably a 3-0 Liverpool.
I was going to go 3-0 Liverpool. I think Liverpool will win this one comfortably.
Yeah,
I think Scott Parker's done a decent enough job with Burnley. He's working with real limited resources there. I think, it's difficult for him. I think, if I'm them, I keep Scott Parker unless he gets a better job. But, yeah, I just think this is going to be a step too far.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going for the 4-1. 4-1 to Liverpool.
Sunderland.
Sunderland against Palace.
Should be an interesting game.
I think Sunderland will win this 2-0. Palace on an absolute dire run. Glasner's clearly knows he's going. There's talks of Juventus after Mateta. Gahey will obviously stay. I just think they're absolutely knackered. I think Sunderland will win this one.
Yeah, I can't see nothing but Sunderland win for this.
I'm looking forward to the next prediction, by the way, after this one.
Yeah,
I'm not even looking. I'm looking at the table to see where. I'm
going bold on this and say 3-0 to Sunderland.
I'm going 2-1 Sunderland. I think Palace will score, but I don't think they'll stay in it. But I'm just looking at to where it could take them if they actually win.
Sunderland.
Yeah.
Depending on other results, they could.
Depending, could be 6th.
Yeah, they could go 5th.
They go 5th, yeah.
5th, yeah. Was goal difference 7? No, so you go 6th.
No, yeah, 6th. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Brentford lose by 3. Sunderland lose by 3. Even then, Brentford got it on goal scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can go 6th.
No, 6th. Tottenham West Ham. Have you heard the new Thomas Frank song?
Well, Thomas Frank's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, he's a silver member.
That made me die. Absolutely made me die.
Khalid's gone 1-0 Sunderland, and he went for 3-1 to Liverpool.
In fairness, I did actually hear quite a funny joke about Thomas Frank holding that cup, which is that's the only cup the Arsenal manager is going to get this season. Which I actually thought was quite funny, to be fair. I mean, I did obviously I don't think that's true, but I mean I thought that was, I did actually, to be fair, thought that was quite funny.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, we don't need that crap in our lives. Thank you very much.
Tottenham can't buy a win at home. West Ham can't, buy a win.
I really don't. I don't know.
But I think they said Solanke's back, but Richarlison's out for like 2 months, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, is that any great loss?
It's not a great loss.
Well, their offside goal count will reduce.
Or just offsides in general.
Yeah. I mean, they have been. You look at Thomas Frank, though. If he wasn't the Tottenham manager, I'd feel for him. No Maddison, no Kulusevski, no striker for most of the season.
Yeah.
But equally, it's incredibly funny because it's happening to Spurs.
The thing is, though, as well, and I know we were talking about Emery earlier, and I think that this is kind of the same, the kind of the same manager role that happened with. All right, we were more loyal to Wenger, we were more stuck with him and whatever, but Emery at the time was very negative and very kind of rigid.
Yeah,
and I think Frank is very similar. So I think coming from Ange to go
that
complete opposite
to Frank, it has been a bit of a culture shock. So I can kind of see where they're coming from as well, to be honest. And
I can too. I mean, I can't see Thomas Frank surviving just because no one seems to want him there. But I think it's similar to Emery. It's not just about that. It's just there seems to be no control of the players at all, and no identity and nothing for the players, the fans to sort of go, I can see what he's trying to do. And we didn't have that under Emery. We did under Arteta, and I felt that was a difference. And right now, I think Thomas Frank's a decent manager, but I don't know what he's trying to do. And I don't think anyone does, and that's going to be his undoing.
Yeah, I think he knows what he wants to do. I don't think he can get across
exactly
what he wants, because I don't think they have any faith
into it.
Yeah, no one's buying into it.
And like I said, I think we've had this conversation before. I think when he came, I don't think anybody was with it anyway. So it's not a case of he's lost the dressing room. He never had the dressing room.
I think he was fighting a losing battle before he started.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
But I think they've got bigger problems, to be honest. I think right from the boardroom and stuff like that. We were talking about with our boardroom. It's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same situation. Khalid said Spurs 1-0, unfortunately.
I'll go 2-0 Spurs, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I mean, Spurs can't buy a win at home. West Ham can't win away to save their lives. So
yeah,
it should be an interesting one.
So it's 1-1 then.
I'm going to go 3-1.
It could be a 0-0.
Yeah, I can't see it. I think 3-1 Spurs. I'm going with that.
I also am going to go with Spurs win. Pains me as it does. I think they'll win it 2-0. Actually, 2-0. Yeah, Spurs, I think, probably good enough defensively to keep West Ham out. 2-0.
Yeah.
Don't change your mind now.
Obviously, the late game.
By the way, how funny would it be if West Ham did win, though?
It'd be amazing.
It would have started a great
start. That bottom three, though, is so far adrift, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Wolves are catching up, though.
Yeah, they are.
They've put two wins together.
Well, if you include the cup, I suppose, yeah. But they've got 5 points in the last 9 games.
Yeah, exactly. Got two draws and a win. Yeah, sorry, yeah. I thought they'd won another one.
They did. They won in the FA Cup, didn't they?
Yeah, so they're still 6 points behind Burnley. But even still, when you get that 6 points, there's only 1 point to West Ham, and then you're 7 points again. So yeah.
Nuno, prove us wrong, please.
yeah, we want to see that. But obviously we're the late game on Saturday. Forest v Arsenal. What are we going?
3-1 to Arsenal.
Oh, I very nearly went that, and I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I fancy for a clean sheet because I think they want that clean sheet after conceding the 2 goals the way they did at the weekend.
Okay, I don't think away from home they don't really give a crap about a clean sheet, to be honest. I think they just want to get the points. I think 4-1. I think I expect them to kind of go to full Monty, not save themselves. I think they were saving themselves last night with this game in mind as well. So I think that's why it wasn't kind of it wasn't full throttle, if you like. Khalid says Nuno proves wrong as Hoodlin says. Khalid says Arsenal 2-1. So we've all gone for an Arsenal win. I hope that continues, and that's all we really care about, to be honest with you. Wolves v Newcastle. If anybody goes for Wolves, you need to go to the bookies.
But Newcastle away form has been shocking, though.
Well, they're also they've also won the last 3. I think if you look at them over the course of the season, you're right. But I mean, I think Wolves are improving. I think Wolves have done really well recently. But I think Newcastle's starting to build up a head of steam now. I think Newcastle will take this one 2-1.
Yeah, I think Newcastle is a bit too strong for Wolves at the minute. So
yeah, and obviously Newcastle are pushing for Champions League spots as well. So I don't expect them to implode on that.
But I think Wolves will give them a
better game than they would have done 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. But
3-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle as well.
I went 2-1 Newcastle.
Oh, Khalid went for a little.
Khalid's gone for a draw. Okay.
Can you make sure you go to the bookies with that, yeah?
Yeah. Late equalizer, he says. Yeah, definitely go to the bookies with that, mate. If you bet, and if you do, gamble responsibly. That's my cater. But yeah, Aston Villa take on Everton in the late game on Sunday, or the afternoon game.
Villa. Because Harder Collins suspended, isn't he? Grealish.
Oh, everyone's suspended for Everton because
Grealish and Keane, I think.
Yeah.
2-0 Villa.
I was going to say 2-0 Villa. I think Everton just struggle for goals, don't they?
Yeah, I think 4-0. I think that'll ruin them. I think 4-0.
It's a Monday night one, should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Villa being ahead of City by Sunday afternoon. And then they've got to really think about what they're doing. But there we go. Brighton.
Monday night, isn't it?
Yeah. Brighton Bournemouth is the Monday night game.
Brighton, despite their results recently, have actually been playing some fairly decent stuff. I think Brighton will. Are they away? I've just closed it, which was silly of me.
Brighton's at home.
Brighton at home. I think Brighton will win this one 2-0. No, Bournemouth score goals. 2-1. 3-1 Brighton. I think Brighton will win it.
Yeah.
I think 3-1 Bournemouth.
Ooh.
They score a lot of goals, man.
I am going for 3-2 to Brighton. Yeah.
I'm just trying to look where Bournemouth are way down, aren't they? They scored 34 goals and conceded 40.
Yeah.
That's mad.
They're going to have to do it without Semenyo as well now.
Yep.
Yeah, Semenyo's gone, well. Yeah.
That's why I went 3-1 in the end. I hedged quite a lot, but Brighton have been playing quite well recently as well. You know, I still can't believe they didn't beat City the other day.
Yeah, that open goal he missed.
I know.
I was absolutely fuming, man. I was like, why did he put it where the defender and the goalkeeper are?
Yeah, anywhere but there.
Well, it's not even that. If you just roll it over your body, you've got a tap in. Literally, you've made all the space. They're just
but in fairness, had he tapped it in, the goal wouldn't have counted.
Why?
Well, because Victor Gyökeres was a tapping yesterday, so it didn't count. That's what I'm hearing.
Fucking prat.
Oh yeah, there was the odd one with that because the Semenyo one didn't count and the Gyökeres on the.
Yeah. Well, I was joking, by the way. You know,
obviously, yes. I figured that out.
No, just in case anyone else watching thinks I wasn't.
I care less how he scores. Once he scores, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm going 3-2 Brighton.
Yeah, I'm still going Bournemouth. I hope it's Brighton, but I'm going Bournemouth. But there we go. I feel like there's something else to talk about, but I can't remember what it was. Obviously, not that important if I've forgotten it. And and if it is that important, then I'll rue it when we get offline and we'll do another show. But yeah. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up there then. And we'll see you guys on the next show. Thanks for joining us in. Please make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing the lives. Any comments, put them in the comment section below, and we'll reply to them when we get the chance. As I said, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. And thank you very much for joining me, guys.
No problem. It's always a pleasure.
It's always good fun, and I thought that was a really nice show. I enjoyed that a lot.
Oh, and Khalid, we'll finish with Khalid. Can we ban Neville from the Emirates? Absolutely.
We're actually working on that. We're working on that. Don't worry.
Are we?
We're working on that.
Are we actually working on that?
We're working on that.
I mean, that guy.
No, they ain't gonna ban him.
It's Carragher that annoys me more, to be honest.
No, you can't be saying if I'm a Liverpool player or if he condoning violence against a thing when
I agree.
When he's pushed a guy, right? And my biggest problem actually before we do go, Kyle Walker stepped on the thigh of Patrick Dorgu, and then he put his hand out. Dorgo took his hand, got himself pulled up, and nothing happened in the game. And meanwhile, we're all talking about Martinelli being such a shitbag. He stood on his leg, and then he covered it up. And Dorgu, with the good grace that he didn't react to it. I mean, how on earth the VAR hasn't even seen his face and just looked back on the video?
But then,
absolutely disgusting.
It goes back to before we go. When Everton appealed Michael Keane's red card, he clearly pulled the guy by his hair. He pulled him down by his hair. I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember who it was either, but it's that was kind of brought in or made a more significant rule after Anthony Taylor missed the one with Cucurella, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a red. I mean, the one on his own teammate when he gets a red is a bit wild as well.
There's history of that, though, isn't there? There's the famous one at Newcastle with Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer.
Yeah, I mean, you're bringing the game into dispute, violent conduct, and all.
It's still violent conduct, even if it's on your own teammate.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it's against, does it? So, you know, but yeah, how nobody was talking about the Walker one, and when he literally stood on the back of his leg, and then done whatever, and the uproar that's been on the Martinelli one. But there we go. We could go on all night with that one, I think.
There's a question in there that's very interesting.
Oh, go on.
Someone's asking, do you think Martinelli is going to leave this summer?
Yeah, we could do. Do you want to do the transfers quickly? We do 5-10 minutes. So, do you think Martinelli will leave this summer? So, what do you think will happen in the summer with transfers? And where do you think it'll happen?
I think with that one, it's a bit tricky now, because I think if Semenyo was still available, I think it would have been probably a different conversation. But
what if the plan is, I don't know, bigger than Semenyo, or we're going for a higher profile target, or
I'd probably try to go back for Rodrigo.
But do we think
I think that's why no guarantees were given.
Because they try and get Rodrigo first.
Yeah, although I think that's become a lot harder with the
new manager.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
there are other players out there as well that they might be looking at too.
But the difference is as well, does he want to play under Arbeloa where he wanted to play there under Xavi? Or would he hang it out and wait for another manager?
Yeah, it's also a red to leave Real Madrid, isn't it?
I think that the Eagles that are running in there at the minute is a bit interesting. So, yeah, would he stay? But yeah, I think I don't know with Gabby because he has been with us for quite a while. So yeah,
I mean, this I think this story is a bit made up, to be honest.
yeah.
I think it's just like because of things in the media and stuff. But
I think how
Well, I
we.
also think his agents would be remiss if they weren't looking at options for him.
well,
Partly
exactly.
because you're about to go into negotiation, so of course you put this story out there because that
Yeah.
increases the value for him in terms of the price. But secondly, what happens if Arsenal don't come in with an offer or don't come in with a good offer? Of course they should be. So I think the story is true, but I also think it's a non-story.
And he's on 180k a week as well, and
which is not bad money.
well,
Bayern Munich's the only place I could see him going to get that sort of money.
But then they've just bought. They remember they got Diaz in it, so
And they've got that young lad whose name is something like Kevin, but it's not Kevin.
Carl.
Carl. There you go.
Carl, yeah. Yeah, so
yeah.
But I mean, but what I'm saying, he's not going to Paris, he's not going to Barca, he's not going to Real Madrid. They'll only leave Bayern as a possible option if they moved on some of their other wingers,
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich's been consistent reporting of interest from them, but they've never acted on it. So I think Martinelli goes if a good offer comes in for him. But I don't see. I can see one of him or Trossard leaving this summer. And I think it will depend on what offers come in and what left winger Arsenal can get in. Is it a more Trossard style or is it more of a Martinelli style? I think Arsenal will be looking at both options and we'll work out which one is the right one for them in the summer. I can see one of them going, and I think probably that's the right decision for one to move on. Trossard has been, of course, really good this season, but just to sort of freshen up that left wing position because it still is the weaker of the two sides.
It's one of the main points, isn't it? As still sticking factors that probably still needs a bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, I think the other area I can see, the other player I see leaving is probably Ben White.
Yeah.
There's too many links with us with defenders and right backs. Mark Gay, he comes in, does Mascara go out to be the right back cover?
I think that.
I think that too.
I know Newcastle and Everton were interested in him as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the injury, his fitness concerns. I mean, Ben White, I think, has been excellent for Arsenal. I think he offers so much for Arsenal, but I just think Ben White deserves to be playing more regularly than he is, and in a lower intensity side that protects him from injuries because he's such a good player. But I think Arteta can't quite trust him enough because he can't stay fit enough.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And to be fair to Ben White, he's run through a brick wall for us. Through thick and thin, and that hasn't helped him. But I think they're the sort of two I'd be looking at going. I mean, I think Gabriel Jesus possibly as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Jesus is done. I mean, I like Jesus for the loyalty factor, but I think we've usurped him now. We've kind of got to the point where yes, he can do the odd job, but he hasn't really got a role as such.
No, and that's why I think someone like Rodrigo or Martinelli staying are going to be important if Jesus does go, which I think he will, because they can be that third striker option. The one thing I would like to see, I know this sort of sounds daft, if you said right now I can bring in 3 players only in the summer, this would be my dream window, and I think someone has to go from central midfield to make this happen. Would be, and I know would be Adam Wharton coming in from Palace, Rodrigo in or similar on the left wing, and Mark Gehi on a free. And obviously that's not free because you've got to pay the agent fees and wage and stuff. But I don't think that's a too expensive window, particularly if offset by, say, Martinelli exiting for, say, 40 to 50 million pounds. I think probably 50 is reasonable given the summer window.
Get his wages off the bill, which is 180k.
Yeah, you'll probably replace that with someone like Rodrigo. But Ben White, you can probably get 20, 30 in for. You've got 80 million in there. That's, not a bad sort of thing. Plus you move on the wages of White. Some of these get replaced, obviously, but, the wages you are kind of going to stack up similar, particularly with Jesus moving on. You probably then sell, I would imagine it would be Norgard or if it would go, but, because Moreno is obviously loved by that. But Adam Wharton, we don't have that Zubimendi replacement, do we? Moreno is obviously a poor man's Rice, and that's not to criticise Moreno. But
I thought he was really good in the 6, actually.
I thought he played really well
against Portsmouth.
But Adam Wharton is that sort of passing player that comes in, and I'm not. By the way, I regret the phrase "poor man's Rice," but that was more reflection. I think Rice is really, really good, rather than I think Moreno is bad. I hate the Moreno bashing. He came in to be a squad player, and he's doing the role of a squad player.
I think the only problem really with Moreno the Rice role, he doesn't work because he has to turn so much. He has to spin round.
And it takes a while.
As the 6, you're already facing kind of that direction, and you're already in position, so you can either prepare for it or advance up the field to kind of deal with things. Whereas if you're doing the 6 to 8 role as Rice does, you're constantly up the field, you're back, you're constantly turning around, and you've got to deal with the issues as well, which Rice can do.
It's not a role for everyone.
And he just doesn't make it look like a job at all. He just does it without any effort. But for a lot of other players, it's not one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. But what I think you're exactly right. I was being oversimplistic, but what Moreno does do, of course, is give you that physicality and that ball running, whereas Wharton coming in gives you sort of that quality on the ball and the defensive screen. And that's why for me something like that would be an ideal window. I don't expect it to happen because I think Wharton will go somewhere where he can go and play and be the starter. But maybe
I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. I mean,
I don't either. But you know what I mean.
Different time completely. I think everybody plays. I think whether it's just how much time you play. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And
first 11 don't exist anymore, really.
No, I don't think they do. I think everything's a squad, and I think our problem being where we were in a race before, we didn't have a squad to focus on anything else. So you basically go, well, you're out of that because you've not concentrated on it. That you're only going for the title. You've knackered up on the title because you haven't got the squad to deal with it. And you put all your eggs in that basket and you failed on that as well. So the way the squad building goes is a very Pep style, I guess, isn't it? A very Klopp style as well.
It's more they're looking for somewhere where they can go where they're challenging for on multiple fronts.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. If you're challenging on multiple fronts, you're playing more games. You're getting more game time anyway. You have to play.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. And I'm not even sure as a first team player you want to be that anymore, because there's so many injuries, and if you're in a top team that is rotating the squad, surely you've got less chance of getting a major injury at least, because if you're playing, or mate is playing 70 minutes and you're playing 20 minutes on one game, and then the next game you do the opposite, surely the chance of that big injury is massively reduced.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
This Mendoza thing, 17 million release clause is quite interesting. I think it's 17.5 million or something like that. So that'd be one to watch as well. It seems to be heating up quite. But he's only a young guy
as well.
Say again.
So is that French kid as well that we've been linked with all window?
Yeah,
him.
Not Belabor. Yeah, I know you're on about. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, him. But I do think we need to try and get younger in that central midfield option. But as I say, I mean, I think Wharton will probably want to go somewhere where what I mean by him starting every game is that he knows he's going to be the main guy, whereas Zubimendi was probably going to if you're playing those big games, you play Manchester City, Zubimendi's going to start probably over Wharton, whereas he goes to Liverpool, Wharton probably starts.
Buadi, that's it.
Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, I think something like that, because I think someone said it in the chat, but a Zubimendi cover, I think Wharton is that profile wise.
Yeah, I mean the thing with that is obviously Norgard is there, and if we get somebody else in there, he becomes like a Jorginho, doesn't he? Basically a Jorginho role, who can play centre back as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's been worth signing just purely for the centre back role.
I think Norgard's not let us down at all, is he?
No, and you actually don't realise how many games he's actually played for us, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think we were going through this last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
The numbers,
he's done two in the Champions League. He's done three in the League Cup. So yeah, he's done quite a lot. But yeah, I also think as well that maybe Kepa starts to look for more minutes, and we have to get another number 2 keeper.
I hope not.
I hope not as well, because I'd like to go through a transfer window without actually having to replace a keeper, because we seem to do it every bloody year.
The irony is that we can't seem to keep our keepers.
No keeping the keepers.
No.
There you go. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what actually happens in the summer as well, because obviously, I don't expect anything to happen in January.
No.
And isn't it nice actually that we're not melting down, going, we need such and such to stay on?
We having a meltdown already, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, no, but I mean, actually, in the transfer window, that we're going, well, such and such, we need this player. I mean, yeah, I mean, if we're being fussy, we could use another left winger. If we're being really fussy, we could probably get another left back. But you get that in. What do you do with the guys you brought in already? So
there's no place in the squad. Whereas you could bring in that extra centre midfielder in the summer, like we were talking about, if Jesus moves on, but basically the squad can't get larger. There isn't the space for it.
No, I don't think there is a space for it. But I think, like you say, I think there is space to move players on.
Yes, and Arsenal need to do that.
Yeah,
I think we will definitely move players on in the summer.
Yeah, but I also think that we need to get better at selling in the whole. So we've said it before as well, that when we've been a retirement home essentially, where literally everybody's played until they're using a bloody Zimmer frame or whatever. If you're using that kind of analogy, obviously not quite that, but in footballing terms, kind of they're past their usefulness, and we seem to keep them along, and
resale value is low.
Well, it's not just that as well, is it? Because once they've got to that point, their wages are really high, and
hello, Stephen Lichtensteiner.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
He wasn't even the worst, though, was he?
No. He's just always the one I pick on. I don't know what he did to offend, but the other advantage we got, if you look in the past, we haven't sold well, and it's partly, and this is where I am a little bit critical of Mikel Arteta, is you fall out of favour, he doesn't play you, and that made it harder for Edu and Alberto to sell, because obviously, he's not going to play, so we know he's worth 30 million, but you're getting 20. Whereas this season, actually, players are playing. And I think that will drive up. If Martinelli became available on the market now, I could see Arsenal sort of saying, I don't think they get it, but going, well, it's 70 million. But you're certainly looking at north of 50. Whereas, Martinelli's a bad example of this. But where we had players before, like Emile Smith-Rowe, for instance, weren't getting minutes, that obviously he was going to go suddenly. And, I think we probably got fair market value for him roughly. But,
with his injury record as well.
Yeah, exactly. But the point being that, actually, probably had he been playing more, you're probably looking at a £50 million player potentially. But
they're not
quite fair examples.
But
you get my point, right? The numbers don't quite work, and it's not quite accurate or fair. But you get the idea, right? But these players playing more do get, will boost.
You get better value, don't you? Because obviously they're part of the squad, and like you say, I mean, obviously even Norgard now, where when he came in, maybe he's worth a bit more for purchase purely because he's played in two different positions. He's been a utility player.
He's one thing. I think you certainly get your money back if you were to sell.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't brought in for that purpose, of course, but
no, but I'm not sure he wasn't, to be honest. I mean, I think that
I meant to make money. He wasn't brought in.
No, but I think that might have been a factor of to say, well, we can get this guy. Won't need much in terms of wages. He's in London anyway. We can get him over, and if it don't work out, we can just flip him, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think they felt it was a very low risk transfer from that point of view. Plus, they weren't spending a fortune on him in the first place.
Yeah.
I think, by the way, this is right. I can't see Wharton happening either. That's why I said it's my dream window rather than my think it will happen window.
Yeah, I think the majority of the money would be essentially spent on the left wing position. I do think it would be Trossard that goes purely because of the age.
The age.
We give him improved terms as well.
But not a longer deal, did we?
No, he got another year.
Did he get another year?
Yeah.
I don't think he got another year, but I think
he got improved terms, but the contract remained the same length.
But I think what did come out was that everyone had assumed the end date of his contract incorrectly. So he had a year longer than we thought he did, but it wasn't a year extra that was offered. I think that's what happened.
Right, okay.
Because everyone assumed he ran out this summer, but he actually runs out next summer.
No, next summer.
Okay. So, yeah. I mean, the interesting one's going to be Havertz as well, because there's talk of renewing him.
1 year extra on the deal, isn't it?
I didn't hear exactly what it was, but I wouldn't like to particularly improve his wages.
No, I don't. I wouldn't improve his wages.
He's on good wages as it is.
Especially when we've just helped him through a year out as well.
Yeah. I think it's more than fair, and even the other way around, if they're not happy taking wage drops and stuff like that, then move them on.
Yeah.
So I still think that was the right thing to do with Party and such like, and when that situation was happening. Yeah. I'm not entirely convinced that they would see the Wharton money as Zubimendi cover, though.
Well, as you were saying, we're seeing more and more rotation in the side now. The point I was obviously making was that, he probably gets more minutes at other sides other than us. I don't think Arsenal will be afraid to spend it, but I do think that money will still be relatively tight this summer, which is why I think if you're spending that plus the same on even if you get the centre back for free or in Mark Gehi, spending two lots of 80 million, 160 million. You're spending over 200 million when you factor in agent fees and stuff. I'm not sure if Arsenal will do that this summer.
But I think the commercial deals are increasing exponentially.
They are,
and I don't think it's as big a struggle as we think it is anymore. And
probably not.
We're probably kind of clouded in a way that the way things have happened in the past and the ambition that was there in the board in previous seasons, I think it
probably does need some good sales though to make that happen.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, again, if we're making it off the field as well, then
especially if we go deep in the Champions League again.
Yeah, but I think we have to, don't we? So yeah, but But he said, make sure you're subscribing and liking the live as well. We've extended it purely for your questions, so I could see Marcelo leaving simply because of market value, also PSR, and I think he's more likely to use that money on another younger winger who could be a starter this season. The season Trossard. I just don't see it. I just don't see it purely because of the age of Trossard and the stage of his contract. Even he's got a year left.
I think he would be
they'll probably try and move him on.
They won't want to lose him for free.
They won't lose him for free, and they'll want to try and get those wages off the bill. If they're going to put it to, say, a Rodrigo is going to be wanting, I don't know, 250, 300k maybe, and they'd want to put it towards that. If we're talking about Gahey coming in as well, you're looking at 200k that he wants apparently. So you want the bigger profile players. You've got to pay the money for it. Thanks, lads. So we'll put on your channel to keep it up. Yeah, well, make sure you're subscribing to my channel and Hoodlin's channel as well, and Domination as well. Where we'll put
to be clear, Arsenal domination has a completely different thing. Yeah.
We've been going nearly 2.5 hours. I'm like, yeah, kind of.
Make sure you turn on your notifications as well, so you know when we go live.
We don't normally go this long, and my wife says the same thing. So you know.
Don't make me laugh too hard. My ribs hurt.
I definitely don't lose go this long with the wife. I promise you that for nothing. But there we go. Right. We are going to call it there because I'm actually knackered now.
Yeah, I need to go to bed because I got work in the morning.
Yeah.
But thanks for the question, though. Buddhist Gavin.
Yeah. Thanks for the interaction. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and we'll see you. We'll probably do another show on probably Tuesday. So make sure you're involved in that as well. And until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy the football, and we'll see you next time. We're out of here. Good night.